Okay, hello. It's Marilyn Devonish here from transformationstm.com. And my question is, are you up for a Banksy reading? So let me explain. Every month, and I've been doing it now for the past 2 years, I do angel tarot card readings in my Facebook membership group for anyone who would like one. It's like one of the free bonus sessions that I do each month. We have people who have favorite decks and people who enjoy the readings. And I've been given a gift. You can see the gift on the screen, and I'll show you them in real life in a few moments. But the lovely Kate Thomas was at one of my workshops, and she brought me this wonderful gift, a limited edition set of Banksy, the artist Banksy, basically tarot cards. And so I'm going to use them. If people are up for it, I'm going to use them for the Tarot Tuesday session next month. And when I get a new deck of cards, I do like to test them out, to see how it goes and to see, how they work and what the messages are like and all that sort of stuff. And they're very, they are hugely different. They couldn't be more different. No, let me get that straight. They've got the same sort of names, but in terms of the pictures, in terms of the images, they couldn't be more different to my usual tarot cards. So I'm just going to kind of show you a few of them, just so you can get a sense of the images. So that's the Fool. This is the, oops, wrong way. This is the Magician card. High Priestess. If you know anything about kind of Banksy the artist, you'll know he's pretty controversial. And this is, and I knew Banksy was prolific, but this is just, beyond. So very different to my regular tarot cards. And if you can see behind me, just here, I have probably about 20 different tarot decks. Let me show you the one that is the favorite deck. So the Archangel Power, this one here, tends to be the favorite tarot deck. It's kind of my fallback deck as well. If people say I'd like a reading, sometimes I go, I want romance, or I want life purpose, or I want Raphael and health, whatever it might be. And if people don't specify and nothing comes to mind, like sometimes I think, oh God, I think it's time for the Goddess cards, or, whatever it might be, past lives, whatever. And then this is the fallback deck. So let me just show you this card, these cards, and this card, just so you can kind of get a sense of what I call the contrast frame in terms of how very different they are in terms of imagery, in terms of content. And on the back of the Banksy cards, it's for me, his iconic images, which is the girl with the kind of the balloon. So that's what the cards look like. This is the limited edition stamp. So I've got number 28 of 100. And this is from someone called Colin Robertson. So he has created these from Banksy's street art. And so all of this is artwork that has appeared around the world in terms of Banksy's images. So yeah, it's a bit different. So I'm going to be asking permission of the group, because of course when I do Tarot Tuesday, the deal is, for those of you who are in the membership group, I just say, look, if you'd like a free reading this month, just put a note in the thread saying yes. If you've got something you want the reading to be about, then people can put a note and say kind of what they want the reading to be about. So sometimes people say it's about work, or it's about career, it's about romance. I'd say 7 times out of 10 it's just a straight yes. So I do what you call a cold reading, and just picking a deck, picking a card and going with that. And you guys who've been in the membership group will know that even when I'm doing the cold readings, people will come and watch the Facebook live video, or if they can't make it live, and they're like, oh my God, that's just too spooky. And for one, I did kind of a couple of months ago, I said, it's going to be turning things upside down. The invitation is to go outside of your comfort zone, to do something different, to do something new. And even something where you thought, oh no, I can't do that. She said, puts a message in going, oh my God, I've just signed up to travel. I'm going on my own. It's the sort of thing I've wanted to do, but I've always told myself, oh no, I can't do that. It's that uncanny. And I remember when I very first started doing it, October 2016, this would have been, I picked a card for someone and it was about organic fruit and organic veg. And I'm like, really? So I'm sat there doing this whole reading about organic fruit and veg and thinking, oh God, you know, what's she going to make of this? She rocks up and goes, I've just come back. And I went and bought, and I before she saw the reading, she just come home with a load of organic fruit and veg. It's that bonkers. And with one I was saying about, it was a Raphael health card, and I said, I have no idea what's going on, but I get a sense it would be wise to have a second opinion. She says, Marilyn, I've just made an appointment because I've got this and this and this, and I've just made an appointment to get a second opinion. It's that crazy. Every single month, and it has been like that for the past 2 years. And I know that, you know, I've got my favorite decks. They speak very loudly. I remember somebody in the group, she got the same card. I used 3 different decks. She got the same card every month for 3 months, because she had not been listening. She laughed and she went, I need to take the message. So it's crazy cool. It's a little bit uncanny. Not everyone's cup of tea. I totally appreciate that. And that said, I have done readings for people in terms of their business, and in terms of, you know, what's next. And I always say, and I think Lisa, who wrote a testimonial for my website, my main website, she summed up beautifully when she said the tarot cards are not about prediction or telling your future. They're often highlighting what you already know. And what it's doing is just bringing that to your attention. So I absolutely love it for that. So what I want to do, before I unleash these on my membership group for Tarot Tuesday. Now, for the Tarot Tuesday people among us, if you want the usual deck, or if you want one of the 20 decks up there, you want the romance reading, you want life purpose, you want past life, you want Raphael, you want the goddess, whatever you want, it's going to be the same score as always. Just tell me what deck you want. We're all good. If, however, you are up for a play, then let me know, and I'm going to do the readings with the Banksy cards and just see how we gel, how we resonate. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. And when I'm doing stuff for paying clients, I do like to test it out first, so I know I'm always bringing the goods and bringing the real deal. So if you would be up for a Banksy card reading, actually, do you know what? I haven't even shuffled these yet. I just looked at them in order. So I'm just going to start. So I don't, the thing about it is these are my cards. These are like me and these cards. We're just like, we're together. We're like that. The Banksy cards, I don't feel that I have a kind of connection to yet because I haven't used them. I pulled a couple of cards in the room when the lovely Kate from Angeli Jewelry gave them to me. And I haven't really used them since because I was kind of warming up for Tarot Tuesday. And then I thought, oh God, I want to try them out before Tarot Tuesday, before I unleash them on the membership group and do the full-on readings. Okay. Cool. So it's going to be interesting because the thing about tarot cards is it's not so much about the wands mean this and the cups mean that and all that, and they have got their meanings, of course. When I'm reading the tarot cards, I'm just going with you know, you're interpreting the pictures, and there are times I could have this card come up 5 times, and trust me when I tell you, in the membership group in Tarot Tuesday, there's often a theme that emerges, and the same card, no matter how many times I shuffle, might come up 4 or 5 times. I think the most we've had it come up, the same card come up, I did 15 readings, I think we had the same card show up 7 times. So when they got a message, they got a message. But each time the card comes up, it will look different. There'll be something else that stands out with regards to the cards. Now with these ones, there's not that much detail. So my brain is like, where are we going to go with this? And what the hell are we going to do? Which is great. So it's always lovely to push the boundaries and get beyond your comfort zone. So I'm just looking at the thing. Okay, so a couple of people I've never read for then. So Frantonia, if you're up for it, you said I'm in. So I'm going to pick, and now the way I always pick my tarot cards, let me just show you the back of all of this. So all of the cards have a different backing, but no matter what the deck is, they make them so they look exactly the same on the back. The Banksy ones are exactly the same on the back, and I choose them face down, so they're facing away from me, so I can never see what the cards are beforehand. So as I thought about you, Frantonia, that is the one that came to mind. I'm going to give them another little shuffle as well, and I'm going to also, oh, is that 2 or 1? I'm going to go for that, whatever. Oh, okay. Alrighty, so let me see what we got. Oh, here we go, here we go. All right, so I'm going to show you the first one. So it says progress, 7 of aerosols. So let me just give me a moment. Let me limber myself up. Do you know the words that come into my head first of all? The first iteration, I was just about to say make your mark, and it was like, no, that's not right. The words were, it is time to make your mark. And Frantonia, don't ask me why. As I say that, I feel quite emotional and quite tearful. It feels as though there's something you've been trying to bring to fruition. There's something you've been wanting to bring to the world. It might even be about authenticity, and there's an aspect of yourself that you want to bring to fruition. And something, and it's not a physical thing, but it feels like something has been holding you back, or something has been stalling, or something hasn't been working. And there might even be a little bit of frustration that sits underneath that when you think about how much time, how much effort, how much work has gone into this. And so this one is about saying, okay, it's not necessarily about permission and timing and all that sort of stuff. This is saying it is time to make your mark, to put your stamp on the world, and to show people the uniqueness and the individuality of who you are. The thing that kind of gets my attention now is that what appears this time around, it could look different if I pulled it for someone else, but this I'm looking at the barcode. And with regards to the barcode here, everywhere we get, I'm coming back to that word authenticity again, and uniqueness. You know, I know what you look like because we are connected on Facebook, and you're absolutely gorgeous, you're absolutely radiant, you are beautiful beyond words, and completely unique, as we all are. But it feels as though, I don't know why I keep saying this, it feels like there's an aspect of yourself. It's time for that to come to the fore, so we see, oh God, how do I say that? It's going to sound a bit, I don't know, I don't want to say the words because it sounds a bit ridiculous, but it's time that we see the beauty of who you really are. I hope that makes sense, because that's the way it sounds. But it's like there is something unique about you that the world hasn't seen yet, and I believe you know what that is. And for whatever reason, it has been kind of sitting in the background a bit. It's like there was I can hear a song when I was at university. The line of the song is "Full force, get busy one time." That is just, I can now hear the whole song playing, but it's that thing that you haven't yet come into the world with full force. And as I say that, I kind of get goosebumps. So it feels like that. Now then. So the second card, because there were two that were stuck together, one of them is the establishment. So you can just have a little look at that. So I'm going to look at them in isolation first, and then what I do if I'm doing a multiple card reading for someone, I then put them next to each other and I see, is there any resonance, is there any connection between them? The establishment. Because, you know, and I don't want to go with what, because Banksy is kind of slightly anti-establishment, but this is, I can't get away from the word authenticity, and it doesn't make any sense, because from what I've seen of you, you're totally yourself. You're not messing about. You know, the stuff you write, the stuff you share, the things you put up, the questions you ask, it's right there, you know, between the eyes. But this one feels as though in whatever this is related, oh thank God for that. Frantonia says spot on for you, because that's with this I'm like, she probably thinks I'm a nutcase now. I'm so glad that is spot on. I'm really glad it resonates with this one. With whatever this is, you kind of been towing the line and doing what's expected and trying to fit in. And the voice in my head is saying, and you and I both know that's one way to play the game. But in this respect, it's not the most effective way to play the game, because if you toe the line and you try and do what's expected and you want to kind of be the norm and fit in, that's where you lose an element and an aspect of yourself. So this one has a little bit of anti-establishment to it, where it's saying, look, why? It's so weird. I don't know who or what is talking in my head, because this isn't the way I would normally talk. And please, I mean, I was going to say you can go and check out the 24 Facebook Live Angel Tarot readings. You will know that's not the way I talk. But the voice is saying, baby, sometimes you've got to upset the apple cart. And it almost feels like a patriarchal voice, you know, like if you had a great aunt or a grandmother. It's that sort of thing where, you know, you're sitting on the porch, rocking chair, homemade lemonade, and it's that sort of conversational sound to the voice, just saying, baby, sometimes you've got to upset the apple cart. So that's that one. The third card, which was stuck to it, oh, this is interesting. Commitment. And this couldn't be any more anti-establishment. This couldn't be any more upsetting the apple cart. That's a wild card right there. Two men kissing and two policemen kissing. And so it's not about the imagery per se. It's about the whole thing about breaking the norm, doing the thing that some people might raise an eyebrow at, almost like, well, who does she think she is? It feels like that kind of energy with this. And it's like, you know who you are. And so there was a time I remember, like, when I was at schools back in the day, there were trainers called Dunlop trainers, Dunlop green stripe. Everybody had Dunlop green stripe except me. So I'm saying to my mum now, I want some Dunlop green stripe. She goes down to Brixton Market and buys me some trainers that look similar to Dunlop green stripe, but I'm not. Now the Dunlops had a nice shape to them. The ones I had were literally square, and there was so much loose material that no matter how tight you tied these things, they're almost like flippers. So I remember saying, well, my friends are going to laugh at me. And my mum was like, if they're your real friends, if they're your real friends, they won't laugh at you. And if they laugh at you, they're not your real friends. I'm like, this is really not helping the cause. But it feels like that one, that with people who are on side with you, as long as they know you are coming from the heart and you're coming from the place that is authentically you, and you have the right energy and intention behind your actions, they will be with you. Those who'll be raising an eyebrow and like, all right, then who does she think she is? As the saying used to go, me and them ain't no company. So it's those people you don't really need to worry about. But there is something here, and I'm glad you said it was spot on, but there is something here about, you know, being yourself, authenticity, making your mark, maybe knowing and accepting and understanding that you might have to upset the apple cart a bit, and there'll be some people for whom the transition, the change, the thing that you are going to be doing, and trust me, you know, sometimes when I'm just going to take a photo. Oh, what saying is that? Oh, no wonder it's a bit dark. Sorry. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. That's better. The way I would just, you know, sometimes you read, well, no, you maybe don't, but sometimes I read for someone and it feels like when you got the major arcana cards that come up, it's a big shift. There's something going on. This feels like a pivot. It feels like a slight shift. It's a bit in the difference. I've just finished watching Strictly Come Dancing, and it's the difference between being in hold and having a bit of a slouch and just bringing yourself up a notch. There's not much in it. That from that to that isn't massive. It's like a pivot, but it feels like this is a pivot. It feels like pretty much everything is in place. It feels like you've been working up to this day, and in many respects, I'd say like 90% of the time you're on it, you're doing it, but there's this final little piece that's like, come on now. I don't know who calls you baby. I don't know. There's somebody whenever they speak, they kind of address you, the reading, as baby. Come on now, baby. You know, and I don't mean like in a condescending way. It's that patriarchal thing. But this feels like a pivot. This feels like that final adjustment before you kind of unleash who you are onto the world. Cool. So that is that. All right. 1-0 to Banksy. We're all right there. Like I like and spot on is something I hear a lot in the Facebook membership group in terms of the readings. Phew. All right, Banksy, we did good. Because I just like to get acquainted with the cards. I like to get a sense of connection with them. Hold on. Hi, Satdeb. I'm very good, thank you. How are you? Brilliant. So Frantonia says 100%, 100%, 100%, 100% for you. I am delighted to hear that. I am absolutely delighted to hear that. All right, let me just ask another question, actually. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull one. I'm like, that's all very well. Now, Frantonia, question for you. In terms of next steps, do you have clarity? And just say yes or no. You don't need to know your business. Oh my God. You said my granny Gracie called me baby. I swear to God, Frantonia, as God is my witness. Well, you just watched me do the thing, but she just, and I, you know, if I don't want to freak anyone out. When I say she, it's not like somebody was standing there, but she was standing there, and I could hear her talking to me. And I was like, that's not the way I talk. Can you not say it in the way I say it so I don't sound like a crazy woman? But that was, I could hear her, and she kept calling you baby. That's just completely freaking bonkers. I love it. But yeah, she was totally on it, and very, how can I say, Frantonia says, thank you for such a powerful, in capital letters, confirmation. But I swear I could hear her, and she was very distinct, because sometimes when I get something in my head, I then go, okay, how can I put that? She was like, no, put it like I told you. Say it like I told you. So it sounds like she was quite a formidable force in many respects. And so, yeah, very interesting. So, well, Granny Gracie, I'm very pleased to meet you. Thank you for showing up. That's a bit crazy. Yeah. So that gives you a taster of what happens every single month in Tarot Tuesday. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, no. Sorry, I'm having an internal conversation with myself. I did a reading, a sitting several years ago with a guy called Tony Stockwell, and I've had the same message several times before. And I had a reading a couple of years ago, and all of these occasions, all of these readers have said to me, oh, you're a medium. And I says, no, I'm not. I mean, I don't even call myself a tarot reader. Tarot Tuesday, we have fun with it. But I know it's powerful stuff, as you guys have just witnessed if you've been watching this whole Facebook Live. And if you haven't, I really encourage you to go back and rewind it and watch it from the beginning. But it's one that when I say resist, it's just not my thing. That's not my, oh God. But now your grandmother is like, she's like, it is your thing. And she's laughing, because what I've just been saying to Frantonia about the authenticity and rocking the boat, that's not a direction I want to take myself in. However, I think Granny Gracie has got other ideas, so I'm just laughing now, because she just said to me, you know you're a medium, right? And it's just that's not where my focus is. But it's thanks, Granny Gracie, we're good. I heard you. I'm just laughing to myself now. It's like, oh, great. So she's probably going to bother me for a while. Hi, Juan Valdez says, hey, Marilyn, that's awesome. True gift. Peter says, just chimed in. I love watching your bubbly, enthusiastic energy. Peter, can you just believe I've just finished a 9-hour big marker training? So I did my 2.5-day photo reading training this month. Peter and I are in a different group together, and so we did 4.5 hours on Friday. I did 9 hours yesterday on Saturday, so we did 4.5 hour block, had a break for lunch, 4.5 hour block, and then I just did 9 hours again today. So it went ridiculously well. It was awesome, and people were amazed that they felt energized at the end of the training. They felt energized last night, and I was like, man, they've been at their desk pretty much 10 hours. This is crazy. And they were relaxed, they were calm, they were focused. And I'm pleased to report, Peter, which I'll be reporting back in the group, that Big Marker performed superbly. It was beyond amazing. So I'll give you a little rundown later. Frantonia says, laugh out loud. I'm like, seriously, she's funny. She's funny. I'm just like, oh, great. But she was going, I'm like, thanks for coming. She's like, oh yeah, the mediumship thing, you're on it, right? You do that. I'm like, oh, great. I'm not going to tell her to go away, because I'm sure she's lovely. But that was cool. Right, let me look at this. That is, oh, absolutely, Peter. I was blown away. I was buzzing. I expected it to be good, and I don't mean that in a big-headed way. I just, but it exceeded my expectations. It went beyond, and I got people to rate it as well. Sorry, just having a little side conversation. Back in a minute. Normal services will be resumed, and I created a little poll, like within Big Marker, and I held my breath as I touched. I'm like, here we go. So I said, would you rate your webinar training experience as excellent, good, okay, stroke meh, MEH, like meh, unsatisfactory, or bad? And they all rated it as excellent. So that is amazing, because I've been teaching photo reading now for 16 years. I became an instructor in March 2002, and this is the first time I've ever run it as a video webinar, and it's actually the first time it's ever been done, I believe, in the world. They've live streamed it before, but the video webinar is a whole different proposition. And so really pleased with how that went. Oh God, don't you start. Monica Douglas Clark says, confirmation, Marilyn, listen to Granny Gracie. Frantonia, your grandmother is quite a formidable force. And Frantonia says, in regards to your question about my clarity, I'm about 85%. All right, thank you. I was just going to get back to that, having had a little side conversation. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put, and I'm kind of curious now, so I'm going to pull a card from Banksy, and I'm going to pull a card from the Angel Tarot. So now what I'm kind of thinking about with regards to this one, I'm curious now about potential next steps. I'm saying potential because everybody's got free will. You might go, no, don't like that. Do what you like. So potential next steps, I think I'm going to go with that one from the Banksy deck, whatever that is. And let's give these a shuffle. Whoops, okay, very fine. Michael's like, pick me, but that's a bit of a cheat, Michael. I'll let you in, but let me pick another one in terms of what I was going to do, but it's cool. But yeah, I've been busy, Michael, that's why I haven't been bothering you this couple of days. And I'm going to go for that one there is the one that gets my attention. Let's see what that is. Okay, interesting. So addiction, sale ends. Oh man, all right. Let's do that. So no, let's cancel. Sorry, Facebook was having a moment there. Addiction and sale ends, and then there was another one stuck behind it, which is the Towers. Before I saw the Towers one, because that was kind of stuck, I thought, oh, that's a bit thick, and then I did that and it was kind of revealed itself. What I'm going to say about this one, when I first saw the addiction sale ends today, and the way that people are kind of praying over whatever it is, this one felt like, how can I say this? You just become who you are. You know who you are. You've got your habits. You've got your little foibles. You've got your little quirks. And it feels as though, how can I say that? Almost like hanging on to an aspect of yourself which you know is outdated. You know it's past its sell-by date, but because it's comfortable, maybe you don't have a replacement for that aspect of self yet. So you just hold on to the old when you know, like, it's time to let go. It's time to let go. And it's time to release that. So it's almost like the aspect of yourself which has been standing in the way with that 10% is coming to the end of its run, a bit like a snake would shed its skin, sort of thing, or the quintessential idea of the caterpillar and the butterfly. In order to be who you're going to transform into, there is a requirement to release and let go of the old. And this one with, so if you've been addicted, and addicted is a strong word, so I don't mean it in the literal sense, but if you have become addicted to that part of your personality and holding on to that aspect, even though you know it's kind of outdated, the best analogy I can give you is when I made the decision to become a chartered accountant and do the ACCA exams, it felt like the right thing. Then I got into it and I'm like, whoa, this is not me at all. But then, because I didn't know what else to do, and because I've now done this thing, I've given up my job at the investment bank in the city, I've gone back to study full time, it's like, well, crap, I better continue, because what else am I going to do? And so I just had to hold on, and I just had to carry on, because I didn't know what else to do. And I'd now wedded myself to that identity. And it feels a bit like that, although you know in your heart of hearts that it isn't quite, it's not completely wrong. It's just like a shoe that's maybe a quarter or a half a size too tight. You can suck it up, Cupcake, and you can make it work, but it's not comfortable. You kind of know that. And then kind of paired with that were, you know, kind of the towers sneaking in there as well. It's a bit like the card where this is one, it looks like destruction, but what this one means is to come in with the new. There's sometimes a thing about releasing the old and about having to let go of the old structure so something new can be coming in its place. Let's see. So this is Michael, who just jumped in there. Just wanted to have a little play. And so this one says, this situation doesn't serve you, exclamation mark. Oh my God, release your attachment to the outcome. Addiction. You know, when I said it looks like they're clinging on and hanging on, this one now is talking about releasing your attachment to the outcome. This is just wild. So release your attachment to the outcome. Consider taking a more uplifting approach. So Michael was like, I'm on it. I'm jumping in. This is me. So, oh my God, that is just crazy. And then Queen of Raphael was the one that I kind of picked after that. And the Queen of Raphael says, follow your heart, exclamation mark. A love of home and family. Oh, trustworthy psychic information. So I think Granny Gracie is totally on point today. She's like, have you heard me? Did you get the message? And just in case you weren't listening, Archangel Michael is in on the act as well, because he literally leapt out and says, pick me, pick me. That's kind of wild. This situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome. And the addiction card was about the clinging on, and the tower was about the letting go. So I guess the question would become for you, just to think about, is what is it you're holding on to? What is it you're clinging on to? You know, when people cling on to, you know, first day at nursery, that kind of thing, you cling on to someone's coattails. It's what idea, what part of yourself, what aspect of your identity are you clinging on to, that it will be useful, that it will be time to let go of and release. The saying that comes into my head is let go or be dragged. Now you've got a bit more time. I think you've got a bit of time to, how can we say, gestate on this, but you and I think we both know that they will get to a point, if you haven't yet released it and the universe goes, girl, it's time. Then that's where the Towers card I think might come into it, where a few of the old structures and a few of the old paradigms start to crumble, seemingly sometimes leaving you with like, oh my God, what am I going to do? But there's going to be something new that rises up in its place. And again, you know, we're back to that thing, heart of hearts. You probably know the direction you want to take. And even if you don't know, with that sort of, you know, you said it's kind of 85% there, this might be the place where you tune in to your heart and you tune into your intuition. And you kind of go, okay, what's my next move? You might not be able to see the whole journey, and you may not be able to see or even predict and conceive of what the outcome will be. However, when you trust your heart and you're, how can I say, authentically aligned, it's like everything else then will, and you take that next step and you take that next step and you take that next step and you take that next step. And it's like that's the unfolding of the journey of faith. Because it sounds like faith is the word that comes into this as an undercurrent. So yeah, cool. Well, I just wanted to see, I was just curious, how would the Angel Tarot match up with the Banksy cards? I think I've got my answer for that one too. It's like very nice, and thank you, Archangel Michael, for leaping in, because that was the absolute perfect card. And I know you miss me, really. I'm sure he complains about me when I'm bossing him about and asking for stuff. But I know Michael misses me, because he does tend to leap in if it's been a while since we have communicated. Wow, that's a little bit intense. That's a little bit crazy. And that's super wild. Well, I think I have my answer in terms of how are the Banksy cards going to be showing up for Tarot Tuesday. I'd say we're all good. Say we're all good. Now, Facebook, what are you doing? It's messing about. Oh, let's see. La da.